Alrighty you guys, so Black Clover Mobile Global dropping on the 30th, half anniversary is on its way next month. We got real-time PvP happening next month, tournament on the JP side of things, so that's going to be exciting for me. As well as potentially Blackcaster soon to make his appearance. With all that being said, I will admit Black Clover Loki has reignited its fire. Alright, it's keeping me occupied, we'll say that. So I am trying to refresh my memories on things that I missed out since I was kind of on and off with the game and I did take a slight little break for reasons. So we're back at it. The fire has been reignited. And well, the next two characters with the story continuation will be Witch Queen and Third Eye Awakening Fana. Now I've briefly did a video talking about these two characters, but we are now in that position of having characters and banners releasing in between now to the half anniversary. And if the half anniversary is Blackcaster, and well, I am keeping my free to play fairness within my account, right? I really don't want to be spending. Right now I've got a lot of summons saved up and I want to use a lot of it for Blackcaster if he is going to be the half anniversary. There's no confirmation, but we're all kind of thinking that because of where the storyline is at. Is that I've said it to my boy Antho and Kaijo that I do want to max out Blackcaster as a character and his Greymoor. Like, I want to get him 200% complete. So with that being said, I now need to figure out on if I want to skip or summon. So with all that being said, obviously with the Witch Queen, she's going to be the first red healer. Obviously with her first skill, single target, applies bleed as well as recovering HP for a defending ally. So only your defenders are going to be getting heals. Everyone else is, well, they're on their own. Skill 2, of course, AoE damage, applies poison, bleed, and burn, so DOT meta is slowly making her way in. And with that being said, Witch Queen is going to be a beautiful character in that case. And then the ultimate does AoE damage, continuing on with the bleed, which is very nice. Everyone else in your team can finally start getting healed by giving lifesteal, so that's something to take note of. And then, again, coming back to the highest defense. So again, she's catering more in the line of supporting the defending characters, of course. So that's just kind of like a brief breakdown on like the Witch Queen, how she is. Unfortunately, her passive only affects red typing, and she grants them a Crimson Blood buff to the defending ally. So realistically, it's only going to be Asta and Veto, two of the defending characters that don't really get as much usage compared to Mars and Radis. And to be fair, Veto display isn't too bad, but I think Asta's being used more over Veto, I want to say, just because of the removal of debuff. And then moving along to the Awakening passive, so this is where things truly does cook up. So she grants X amount of max HP as HP recovery to all allies for each instance of continuous damage inflicted to an enemy. So if you are going to be spending and if you are going to be pulling multiple copies of the Witch Queen, then you are going to be getting the best out of her, because then the continuous damage that she just stacks up on really does affect your whole team getting healed up. If you max her out, then the increases the lifesteal effect on the ultimate skill. Partner skill, just random healing on the partner mage, so nothing too crazy. The Greymoor is pretty mid, I mean it's not exactly needed, but additional debuffs. So inflicts reduced HP recovery received on top of skill 2, so it's a nice little addition, but I wouldn't say it's anything really needed, but it's nice. And then the Greymoor passive, when you hit an enemy that is taking bleed damage, she grants an increased defense buff on all allies. So like I said, the Greymoor isn't anything too broken, it's just additional stuff to have and to give out. So nothing too crazy, I wouldn't say it's really needed, but if you do pull the Greymoor, stick it on with the Witch Queen and there'll be more to be given out. So overall with the Witch Queen itself, again, the Awakening passive is pretty insane to me, to where your whole team is affected, but there are certain things about the healing side of things is limited, as well as the DOT play might be a big play from the Witch Queen. And then Fana, realistically, just to put it in one simple way, is that she's basically the blue version of Fana, heading over to the green version, but taking a page from Raya with the extra attack. So obviously with her skill 1, single target, if the enemy is taunt, she does increase damage, but she also applies hatred. So what hatred is that when using your ultimate, she performs an extra attack and deals increased damage based on the number of hatred you have, which it stacks up to 5 times. So yeah, basically Fana on steroids. The ultimate, so the skill 2 is practically the same. AoE does burn, and she can also stack up on hatred. Ultimate AoE, she removes a random barrier on a random character on the enemy side, not on your side. Don't know why it says ally, but she also performs an extra attack equal to the percentage of magic attack and attack. For each active hatred buff on self, deals an extra attack to inflict damage equal to X amount of attack and magic attack. I think the extra attack that the ultimate performs gets overruled if you've got hatred stack. That's what I'm going with. I don't think you're going to get like 3 attacks on the ultimate, otherwise that's just going to be crazy. That's what I'm going with, but we'll find out when she releases. Passive, if all allies are green typing, then she grants status element immunity to all allies for X amount of turns at the beginning of the battle. So with the release of Charlotte, which is elevating green mono tremendously, as I like to say, having this Fana beside her is kind of like a match made in heaven. So that's kind of why Fana is got some eyes on her, we'll say that. Pun intended, because she's got 3 eyes. Okay, I'll stop. Awakening passive, if hatred stacks X amount of times, then she gets max HP is set to X% and grants self immortality. So she gains immortality on the first awakening passive, and if you max her out, if afflicted with taunt or enhanced taunt, grants self reduced damage taken. So damage reduction basically. So the awakening passive is a nice way to kind of keep her alive, but it's got nothing to do with her damage output, so it's nothing really crazy, as I like to say. Partner skill, inflicts taunt, simple. Greymore now, so on her second skill she does burn, and on top of that, if you have the Greymore, she can also apply taunt, which will lead into her first skill, doing more damage. Her Greymore passive, if afflicted with taunt or enhanced taunt, there is an X amount of chance where you can do more damage. So overall, in the same sense of the Witch Queen's Greymore, nothing too crazy, but it's just additional. But in this case, it will help out Fana a little bit more in the sense of doing more damage. So yeah, I would say, a nice little touch if you do manage to pull it. But I wouldn't say it's anything needed, since there are other Grimoires that you can have to apply to do more damage. So there's that, as she is a green attacker. So overall, like I've mentioned, she's, Fana, blue Fana on steroid, doing extra damage, taking a page from Raya. And that passive is going to be working a match made in heaven with the new seasonal Charlotte, of course. So again, a nice little touch for the green typing. So when it comes to summoning, how am I going to go about doing things? Like I said, I want to maximize and make sure that I am prepared for Black Asta or whoever the half anniversary character is. There are going to be characters in my way. There are going to be banners releasing in between now until the half anniversary. With where things are right now, I am really enjoying the green mono team now that I've got my Charlotte. And so I need to think, looking at these 2 characters in a bare bone manner, meaning I'm not going to be going for dupes. So with that, with a no duped out Fana, I think she's going to be working just as fine. Easy to use. And again, having that passive come into play, I think we are going to be doing wonders with obviously her and Charlotte together. So I think a bare bone Fana is going to be easily obtainable if RNG is in my favor. So I think the case is that I am going to be summoning for a copy of Fana. Witch Queen, I think it's a character that I will need later on. Nothing that I need right now. So I'm comfortable skipping her. I will say Awakening passive is going to be clutch for her. So like if you are choosing to summon, you might as well just go for the Awakening passive if that's what you want. I feel like if you are going to be wailing out, or if you've got the currencies to spend and still be prepared for the half anniversary, then do as you please, right? Continuous damage with the afflicted, for every instance of continuous damage, obviously gaining HP for the whole team, that's going to be very clutch to have, so that way your whole team is affected by it in a continuous manner. But I feel like the DOT play that this Witch Queen has, I think that's kind of where things are going to pick up, because again, DOT meta is slowly making its way in ever since we got that damn Magna, right? Feeds off from burn and absolutely claps cheeks, right? Does a ton of damage. So I think in the long run, once we're slowly getting into these DOT characters coming into play, we could see something, and we could see Witch Queen coming in being a huge support in that play, right? Because she's supplying everything. So right now, it's a character that I'll probably need later down the line, and which I'll comfortably pull randomly while I'm summoning for this character or that character. Who knows? I will say, obviously, lifesteal is also there, so I mean, the healing is still being applied for everyone. But if we're looking at the healers overall to what we have right now, I feel like it's a character that I can comfortably just kind of not need, as I like to say, from a healing perspective. But I feel like from a DOT perspective, something is there. Something is there. So I think from that point of view, with where I'm at right now, needing this character later down the line, I think I'm comfortably going to be skipping the Witch Queen and just focusing on Fana. but I will say both of their kits are damn good with the role that they're playing and with how they are going to be introduced into the game. With the Awakening passive being a nice little healer, but I feel like there's bigger things planned for her in the future with DOT. That's my hot take on that with the Witch Queen. So, but we'll see. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to summon for Fana, and then I'll probably throw a multi or two for Witch Queen just to see if I can get at least one copy. So that way, if I want to mess about with DOT, I can do so. But the healing side of things, I don't think it's going to be as great as when it comes to the other girls providing healing. And I'll end off by saying this. Where's the male healer?